Take two. Da-da-da-da-da. You never stopped running around. You picked me up, then you would soon put me down. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to BOOZHOO, NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ujibwe language and culture. I am NANABOOZHOO, and today we're going to talk about the term squaw. I know right now a bunch of Shanabs went, oh, what? What did he just say? Here's the deal. Maybe I'll call this video something like, Squaw, is it a bad word? When I was growing up, my my elders told me, don't ever say squaw. That's a really nasty word. It's not okay. Because that is what the French people would call the Anishinaabe Miskwawak, the Indian women. And it wasn't a nice word. In fact, it is the French word for, that. And then I was thinking about it. It's like, okay, oh, wow, that's really bad. And growing up, you'd start, every time I heard somebody say squaw, I would just cringe, I saw it on The Simpsons once. Homer Simpson called Marge his squaw. And I was like, geez, it's really bad, But I was wondering about Squaw Lake. Why would they name their town and the lake with such a terrible word? I mean, I didn't get it. But then it occurred to me. It didn't occur to me. Then an older Ojibwe speaker, Benny Tontz, once told me, he goes, no, squaw, that's just short for Miskwawak. It means red. So let's make that today's Ojibwe word. Miskwawak, red, the color red. But Miskwawak means red cedar. Miskwawak. And Benny goes, back in the day, there were a lot of lakes called Red Lake or Red Cedar Lake, which is actually the term. Sometimes people ask me, hey, what's the Ojibwe word for Cass Lake? I'm like, I think Cass Lake was named after a Freemason, some sort of weirdo, Chamokaman. But what the Anishinaabe called that area we now call Cass Lake was Miskwawak. I'm sorry, Miskwawak. Miskwawak. It was the lake of the red cedars. And I don't know if these guys are still playing, but there used to be a great Anishinaabe band with Donnie Hedberg and a bunch of, good old boys from the res who called themselves Red Cedar Lake Band. And oh wow, these guys are great. They let me play with them once in a while. Miskwawak, the lake of the red cedars. But Benny was saying, oh yeah, that's a really common name. Miskwawak Lake or Miskwawak, or like Red Lake, the actual Red Lake. That in Anishinaabe is Miskwawak Zaga'iganing. Miskwawak, red, Gamiwi Zaga'iganing. So the word Miskwawak has squaw in it. And you got to think like back in the day, somebody like, hey man, let's go fishing down at Miskwawak Lake. And then after a while, people are like, hey, where'd you go fishing? Oh, we were on Miskwawak. Or after a while, people would be like, oh, let's go fishing down at Miskwawak Lake or Squaw Lake. And I think it just got kind of reduced down to the term squaw was just short for Miskwawak, red cedar. Because any lake that was surrounded by red cedars, could be called the Red Cedar Lake. But because we lost our language, it was easy for somebody to just kind of try to, make us angry. Say, oh yeah, squaw, that's a racist term. The French, in spite of what you might have heard about our fur trading and intermarrying and cross-cultural trading and all the goodwill that the Ujibwe and the French had together, don't pay attention to that. Those guys hated us and they were really rude and sexist. I don't think so. So, not like I want to bring back the term squaw, but I don't think it means what we were told it meant. And I don't think we need to change. I think they did change the name of the lake. I don't know what they're calling it now. Spirit Lake or something. But that's not it's not an offensive term. And then it brings up, I just learned this about the term Redskins. The Washington Redskins. I guess back in the days, when they first started that football league, what was that boarding school? Carlisle Indian School. That was a huge boarding school. It was like a college. And it had a great football team. And some of the Carlisle graduates went on to become professional football players. And they went to play for a team in Washington, D.C. And the first teams had so many Anishinaabe that the coach was like, hey man, we might as well call this the Redskins. We got this all Indian team. So, and, if you're being honest, I've been called a racial slur before. I met a woman once. She goes, oh, I hate them knobs. And I go, knobs? I never heard that. What's a knob? She goes, Anishinaabe. I went, what? How can you be racist and still know the term Anishinaabe? But I was kind of impressed that she even knew the word Anishinaabe. But anyway, apparently the redskin was never a term used like the N-word. Black Elk and Sitting Bull would talk about the white man and the red man a lot. The red road, it wasn't about your skin color, because Chimokamen aren't white, and Indians aren't red. But red signifies, something good. The red road is the road of sobriety. The road of living the values. And the black road is not living the right way. But that's, that could be taken as racist. Oh, how come the black road is being off the path, you racists? It's like, no, that's not a skin color thing. It's just a color. So that's my point today. Miskwawak, red. Red is a color, and squaw is short for Miskwawak, I think. I could be wrong. I often am. But this little lesson in history and Anishinaabe culture and Ujibwe was brought to you by a grant from the Children's Television Workshop and from viewers like you. Okay, I have nothing to do with the Children's Television Workshop. Those are the guys who produced or pay for Sesame Street. I've been thinking about calling them up, saying, "Hey, you guys, send me some Junia. I'll do a show for you." All right. In any case, before I head out, let me say a special chi miigwech, great thanks to my Patreon supporters. I was gonna list off your names, but I forgot. In all seriousness, you guys, I don't know how to express how much I appreciate that you support us here. I don't have a job outside of this, and so your money really helps. And today I got an email saying, "Oh, wow, your Patreon check just got deposited." I was like, "All right, go pay rent." So, miigwech, you guys. You're a gift from Gitchimanadu. Oh, that's one more thing about French. So I met a guy from France last year, and he goes, "What is Gitchimanadu? Does that mean Great Spirit?" I was like, Gitchimanadu? Yeah. How do you know that word? He goes, yeah, in France, I think you pronounced it. And I guess in France, they have the expression Gitchimanadu when they talk about God. And it's kind of cool because they picked that up from Ujibwe back in the fur trader days. And I sometimes wonder, when we say BOOZHOO, meaning hello, bonjour isn't really how you say that. That's how people from Minnesota speak French. It's like the term Italian. People in Minnesota think that's how Italian is pronounced, Italian. Oh, there's these Italian guys moved up to Bina. I remember back in the day, the Italians would come, and you'd be like, what country do Italians come from? Italy? But French people, when they say hello, they say bonjour. And it's spelled bonjour. So, our languages kind of interact. That's kind of neat. All right. Thank you for watching. Miigwech, Ganawabieg. BOOZHOO, NANABOOZHOO. The podcast all about Ojibwe language and culture. I am NANABOOZHOO, and I will see you again. Gigawabamin! Minowa! Hawa!